Forex traders, welcome out to your currency recap for October 20th. Corey here with you. We're going to take you through major news. We're going to talk about why gold is on fire. We're going to talk about crypto and FX pairs, what's heating up, what's cooling off. There are some potential trades out there. We'll talk about some of those setups that might set up in the near term.
All trades and analysis in this video are intended for professional traders only. This content does not constitute financial advice and is for educational purposes. This video is being released after a short delay due to Compliance Department review. Maverick members receive this content immediately as part of their daily trading resources. If you're ready to level up, consider joining Maverick Currencies. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits. You bring the skill, we provide the backing. Let's get into today's market recap and see how the pros are trading the currency markets.
So as we take a look at markets, it's kind of a quiet market environment. So the stories today are really Ethereum retaking the 4,000 level. That's a critical level for that cryptocurrency. And then gold just on fire above $4,000 an ounce. Gold was up another 3.5% today, just absolutely a rocket ship. If we look at the FX markets, Aussie and Kiwi a little stronger. It was a risk-on environment today. Equities were up about 1%. Everything else a little more stagnant. Like we said, the S&P up strongly at 1%. Crypto with a bounce back up 1.5%. Gold the outlier though. Gold is just in a vertical march and a short squeeze and everything that you can add to it. It is on fire. Oil been left behind, just really languishing down at, in the 60s per barrel, which is not expensive at all. Crypto with a nice bounce back. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin. Ethereum was the underperformer and it's struggling right around that $4,000 mark. It did retake it intraday. Temporarily at least. So if we look at the S&P 500, it looks like we've gone through our consolidation and it appears, we'll see, but it appears as though we're ready to break out and make the next run. So here's the support level that has held. We've been in a sideways range and next stop may be the upside breakout. So we've had a resting phase and now you can see the buyers stepping back in. Looks pretty solid. The trend has been up. Path of least resistance certainly seems to be to the upside. For the rest of this week, if we look at the calendar, we've got some CPI data out of Canada and out of the UK. We've got manufacturing and services PMI out of Europe. And we've got CPI on Friday. All of those, the manufacturing, the services PMI, and the CPI, all come out on Friday morning, which is the headliner. If you're looking at economic reports, Friday is the day that could potentially create some volatility and some opportunity. Unfortunately, when we've come in on Mondays the last couple of weeks, there hasn't really been a setup that's ready. We've been stuck in this range, this quiet weekend, come in on Monday and kind of quiet in the crypto and FX markets. Anything between -1 and +1 doesn't really have the velocity we want to trade. But what's close? Well, what's closer is the Swiss franc and perhaps Bitcoin on the upside. And if we're going to short something, there's a couple of candidates here, but the best one I think might be the US dollar. So the pair would be long Swiss franc, short US dollar. And if you're going to buy something in crypto land right now, it looks like Bitcoin is the one that we would most consider. So let's take a look at possible trades here, starting with the Swiss franc. Now you can see there's not a lot of velocity here in the here and now, but what are we looking for? Well, we've been in an upward trend. If we were to snap a trend line on here, you can see that's intact. You can see each bounce off of that trend line, and the subsequent rise in the asset, right? Over and over again. And here we are again at that trend line. So the question is, will it continue in that trend the same way it has up to this point? And so Swiss franc will give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it were to break below this trend line, then of course it becomes a whole different ball game. You're going to look to short it. You're certainly not going to be buying and so forth. But Swiss franc on the long side looks like the best candidate coming up. And then US dollar on the short side. Here we have a low base pattern. You can see how it's consolidating in essence, but it's creating this range effect, an asset that's stuck in a box here. And the fact that we fell and now we're consolidating is building a nice foundation upon which we can build, in this case, to the downside. Now we're on a little bit of a sell signal, a little more downward slope, a little more downward trend. That's why we get the sense that not only is this a low base pattern that normally breaks down, but all the momentum indicators are also pointing to the downside. So I think the next potential trade is that go long Swiss franc, short the US dollar as a pair. In the crypto space, the one that stands out, probably Bitcoin. Now, you can't really call this a major bull market or anything of that sense, but you can see that we've started to change trend. We came from a downtrend, we've now reversed into more of an upward phase. Within that, you can see the upward trending RSIs, the buy signal, the upward slope, and the moving averages, and so forth. So it's meeting the criteria for more of an upside move. And since crypto is in a bigger consolidation overall, there's not a ton of velocity in FX and crypto pairs right now. We'd be looking for outliers. We'd be looking for relative strength or relative weakness. And if you were to compare Bitcoin's chart to some of the others, the Ethereums and so forth, it's just better. It's just a little bit stronger. It gives you a little bit. I'm not a big crypto guy right here, right now. I think gold is stealing away some of that luster. But if you wanted to trade crypto, that would be the way to do it in the near term, is probably Bitcoin on the upside. So we find ourselves in a little bit of a quiet, maybe a calm before the storm. Maybe things pick up as the week progresses. If they do, I think there's a really possible trade in Swiss franc up paired with US dollar to the downside. Gold is on fire. Anything in the gold space, gold miners, all of those things are just absolutely on fire. Silver, as a precious metal, same thing. Really good performance in that space. Hope you enjoyed today's currency recap. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.